Okay.
What the hell? All right, let's play catch up here. It's the world famous
You gotta
Nicole
start over now.
Aladrian Show.
You gotta start over.
I should pay my PG&E bill, huh? Because you heard that, like the power was going out. It's like, I
I said,
ain't
nigga, what are
heard the
you
deal
doing?
before, man. That's crazy, man. Let's try this one more time. Live from Studio A in San Francisco, California, it's the Nicole Aladrian Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Nicole Aladrian Show. We're going to have some really informational topics to discuss today that should help a lot of people. So stay tuned.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back. We got the music
Taylor,
right this time.
How you doing, my dear friend?
You know, I'm good. After a long week, we have come to the week.
Another week.
The top of the week.
Another week. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Nicole is here, so we're gonna talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yes, we are, you guys. And we welcome you guys. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. Welcome to the Nicole Aladrian Show with my lovely producer. And I couldn't do it without him and Taylor, y'all. So, yeah, stay tuned.
That's right. I'm in Taylor. I'm in the house. You know what I'm saying? So we just in here doing our thing and talking. And we was talking about survival as far as basic necessities.
Human needs, right? The basics: housing, food, shelter, right? Those are the three just basic needs of a human being, right? Anything else is pretty much additional luxuries, things like that. But as human beings, we need to have proper housing, right? To keep us away from ailments and illnesses and germs and things that can be detrimental to our health on the outside. Warmth, right? Warmth. We need clothes, it's preferred because we can't walk around naked. And we need food. Food is the number one thing, food and water, because we need to survive. We cannot survive without nutrients, right? And water. So it's really sad and unfortunate that we have people around the world who do not have enough food or adequate water sources, who are homeless, right? And who do not have enough clothes or proper care. Is quite sad. And so I just wanted to shed some light on some resources that I had came across that may help somebody in need.
Let's hit it. Hear this young lady out. One sec.
Y'all, I can't keep this blessing anymore, so I go straight to it. It's called the Healthy Housing Foundation. They just gave me and my two kids safe and stable housing for just $750 a month. Now, I have been staying here at least like 4 or 5 months now, so I wouldn't recommend this until I was there at least a few months. Yes, you heard that right, $750 a month. Now, they're in different locations all across the country. They're founded out of California. Like, if anybody from California sees this, they'll know about all the properties they have in Skid Row and, all those areas. Mind you, in Florida, the properties vary. The one that I'm living in looks like this.
She's showing a picture of a nice looking property.
Renovate these old hotels and turn them into clean,
it's very nice
and reliable place to live for small families. No crazy qualifications, no long waiting lists like housing. So if you're like me and you're waiting for housing to open up in the area that you live, definitely apply for this program if they're in a city near you. This is
so. For those listening, Nicole, do you want to get on the website, or do you have it?
So it is the healthyhousingfoundation.net. That's where you would go to apply. Okay. I'm going to say it again. The healthyhousingfoundation.net. Okay. You can Google it and it should pop up and it will take you to the application process. So if anyone out there, even if you don't need the resource, maybe you know somebody who needs this help, please share the information with them, you guys, okay? As it's for small families. And, like she said, it's not a long waiting list. And it's people who need housing, and there's children and homeless women on the streets as well as men. So if you know someone that can benefit from this resource, please share it, you guys. Please share it. I was unaware of this until I came on TikTok and saw this young lady speaking about it. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know about this, right? And so I think that's a beautiful thing that this foundation is doing, that they're helping families and, you know, in this way. That's a beautiful thing. So God bless this foundation, the people behind it. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much we need more people like this, because homelessness is very, very at an all-time high. And I don't know how true this is, but I'm hearing that Trump just passed a order that said if anybody is on the street homeless, that they will be arrested, that you really will, it's a crime to be a homeless person on the street, that you will get locked up. And I'm going to say this, if this is true and this executive order did pass, shame on you, because what you're going to take someone who's already in a really, really, really messed up circumstance and put them behind bars. How is that helping our people, right? How is that helping us? Helping us would mean, hey, making more affordable housing for people, giving people more resource to get back on their feet. Let's not kick each other while they're down, right? That's not of God. God's love is not to look down. Nobody's greater. Only God looks down, and he loves us. He does not do that to his own people. We're his people. We're his creation. He made us in his image. God is not pleased with his behavior, okay? I don't care if you're a president. I don't care if you're in a high place. That is not right, okay? Instead of making it harder for people, let's lift each other up and help each other.
Yeah, that's a stretch even for somebody as crazy as Donald Trump. But when you hear those kind of things, there's always some kind of truth attached to it. I don't know to which degree. You know what I mean? We'd have to look it up and research that a little more. But as far as Trump, well, he and they have a law called vagrancy and things like that, where a person can be, close to homeless and get in trouble for that. But I'm not sure how that, it can violate solicitation laws. I'm not sure how they plan to do that. You know what I mean? But I hope for the best outcome for those people that are homeless. And I'm going to start making a point to look for more programs to assist people. And on both my show and Nicole's show, we'll mention it and we'll tell you about it, because it's hard out there. It's real hard out there. There's people with no houses. And the thing is, it's like the whole housing in general is a sham. People say, oh, do this, do that, buy a house, do you know, like, they have property taxes on the house? Property taxes I pay is almost the same as an apartment every month. I got to pay extra $1,000 just to live in a house. You know what I mean? Now imagine if you have
but is that okay? I was told this. I'm not a homeowner yet, or at this time, right? I do rent, but I was told, do you pay? So, because you just said 1,000, is that, because I was hearing is every year you have to pay a property tax, right? So it's like some people pay 3,000 in a year, or it just depends on, your mortgage and stuff like that, right? So I'm just a little interested in what you just said, because are you saying you have to pay an extra $1,000 on top of your mortgage every month, or is that per year? How does that work in your situation, if you don't mind sharing?
So in my case, it's about $12,000 to $13,000 a year. On the house, and I have a couple of them, right? So so basically property taxes is a percentage of the house's value. Okay. It can be comprised of a bunch of local things to make the property tax, and then you pay a percentage of that, and you pay it every month. So what some people do in real estate, they have what's called escrow or impounds.
Escrow, yep.
So with impounds, they take your taxes and insurance and they add it to the mortgage, right? And you only get one bill. But some people pay their property taxes and insurance outside of the mortgage, and they do it either quarterly or they do it. You should do it quarterly. Don't try nothing else, because it's easy to snowball and get behind. And you know what I mean?
Because it's just gonna build up more money, yeah.
Yeah. So let's say a person goes out and they can buy a house, and houses should be, to be honest with you, a maximum house, even in California or anywhere, it should be, for what people make and things like that, it should be around $250,000. That's how much a house should cost maximum. You know what I mean? And that's like a really nice high end house.
Right.
And that
sounds good to me.
yeah, but that goes to a person who makes between 35 and 55,000 a year. That's the house that you know what I mean? That's perfect.
That would be within my current price
Absolutely.
range for what I make. I'm in the 40,000s a year, so that would, but that's just not how it is.
So your property taxes on that kind of house, value of house, would probably be about $250 a month. Now,
Oh, okay.
so you have property taxes, you have your regular mortgage payment, right? And then they have something called mortgage insurance, depending on how much you actually own the house. If you owe less than 80%, you don't get what they call PMI. But if you do, then they add PMI, private mortgage insurance. That right there can be a couple $100 more on top of your
So
mortgage
what does
payment.
that type of insurance, what does that help you with, Maurice?
Well, private mortgage insurance is designed to protect against going upside down on your loan. You know what I mean? Hang on a second. Let me get you a real definition, okay? I'm just going to read it to you. So if you owe, when I say 80%, so when you finance a house, you finance a portion of it, either 100%, whatever your down payment is, that percentage is going to be the difference of what you owe. So you put 3% down, then you owe 97%. You put 20% down, you owe 80%. And
80% left, right?
You get what's called PMI.
If you put 50 down, you owe 50%. Yeah.
Right. So the PMI protects the lender and not the borrower. So it's not about what I said upside down. It's about if someone defaults on their mortgage. That's more or less what it is. So
is that like you're putting in like kind of a backup money? So if like you fall behind, that's money that you can use to kind of fall back on. Is that because that sounds like
not for you, but for the lender. The lender takes that's sheer income for the lender. It's sheer income.
Okay.
So when I say upside down, upside down is a little bit different definition. It means when you owe more on your house than what it's worth. That's not the right definition.
Oh.
That's not the right thing. But with the PMI insurance, the lender is protecting their own interests, and they're grabbing money where they can, just in case you default on a loan. They'll still have that extra money while they're going through foreclosure procedures and all that stuff. So,
okay.
So PMI does go away by two ways: by you making payments on your home, and you get what's called the loan to value ratio down, or you lower your principal enough to where you're beneath owing more than 80% on the house.
Okay. So that was some very valuable information for us people who may want to try to get a home one day, or you may be thinking about getting a home, or you're in the process of getting a house right now. You guys,
Absolutely.
This would be some very valuable information. If you may not already know this information, both me and Maurice know a little bit. Well, he actually has worked in real estate. I am halfway to my real estate license. So I think I will be, picking that back up in the near future. But yeah, so yeah, we both have. He has a lot of knowledge. I have a little bit, but he actually worked in real estate.
She's a dynamo, everybody. So anybody who wants to buy a house, I wouldn't buy a single family residence. I would buy like a duplex. That way my unit can be paid for by all the other units.
That's smart.
Triplex.
That's smart.
Or not triplex, whatever. 4 units if you can. You know what I mean? And you screen the people real good, especially if your family's gonna be in there. You know what I mean? You screen them real good, and you rent out 4 units, and at least 2 of them units will probably pay the whole mortgage. And the taxes.
That's what a lot of people do. That's smart. Yeah. That way it's like you winning. It's a win-win. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Then
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, your first property should be an investment that you can live in, and then it goes, and then you go off and you go get your single family residence afterwards or whatever. But you have to understand that sometimes it's not it ain't what you think it's gonna be. It ain't all the glitz and glam that you think it's gonna be, but that's okay. We're talking about this is a step beyond just basic living. But and the basic thing is people out there can't even afford an apartment now. The apartments are
Yeah, it's
just
you
crazy.
can't like it's. I'm not even laughing. Like it's not funny. It's. I'm laughing because it's ridiculously sad. Um, and it's ridiculous. It's like just for rent alone, they want $2,000-3,000, sometimes more than that. And it's like we're not even talking. You still have your other necessities. You have, if you got a car note, or you still got to pay for gas. If you have children, right? Depending on how many children you have, that all these things is so much money. You got to pay for your groceries, and everything is getting so expensive. And whatever other things you got out of pocket, like health insurance, credit cards, right? Most of us have credit cards, and it's just, and most of it, the living wage is just not enough. I mean, there are people who have really good jobs or who have wealth, but the average American person, such as myself, we don't make, what I'm saying? We don't even make enough to barely survive anymore. And back in the day, the kind of money that I make was good money. How, Maurice, that was considered great money. You know what I'm saying? It was good money. Like I would have been, you know what I'm saying? I would have been able to buy a house. You could buy a house for people was making way less back then. They was making 20, 30,000 and still couldn't live comfortably. Now that ain't nothing. $100,000 ain't no money out here nowhere. We know I could do a lot with 100,000. I could do a lot with 60, 70 more, thousand a year. But I'm still doing pretty well for myself, thank God, because I'm good with money, but by the grace of God, right? And I start saving. But man, I'm gonna put it like this, y'all. If I didn't start saving when I was younger, I'd be messed up right now. It would be extremely hard for me to save money. I mean, you know what I mean? I would, so I encourage anybody, like, save money. I don't care if they say, oh, saving don't get you. Yes, it does. You need to have savings. If you know how to invest your money. If you learn about investing and how to put your money in the right places, do that as well. But when people tell you don't save money, don't be an idiot. Don't be a fool. You have to, because when stuff happens, which you will, right? Cars break down, or you might have a expense that's unwanted, right? Or emergency situation happen. You gonna need some money, and that's not many people you gonna be able to call to be like, hey, I need a couple thousand or a couple $100s. Most people, they don't have that kind of money to give, right? So you have to make sure you're set up for yourself. So I encourage people, learn how to save money, keep saving, right? If you have a job that offers Cal Savers program, please, the money comes automatically out your check. They take 10% out of each check automatically, so I don't have to worry about it. And they invest
President
into an
Trump has
IRA
signed a new
account, right?
executive order aimed at.
I'm sorry. That thing just
I'm
busted off.
also, yeah, I'm also able to contribute on my own. So although that the money from each check, 10% is like what, a couple hundred per check that comes out my check. Um, so it goes every 2 weeks. They take that money out, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm also able to contribute money as well. So far I've contributed about $1,000, into it. And when I can, I try to put at least, each time I'm going to try to contribute like 500 at a time. I try to, so I can, because it helps your money grow. Make sure y'all, if y'all, have a 401k plan, anything that's going to help you towards your retirement, make sure that you implement these things. And when you can put your own money into it, that just makes it greater. So just do whatever you can to help your future, and make sure that
Absolutely.
when things arise, because they will, right? They will. You have something to fall back on. That's extremely important.
Hey, Nicole, let's quickly hear this real quick. I know we are running up against a hard stop, but check this out real quick.
President
Okay.
Trump has signed a new executive order aimed at cracking down on homeless encampments. KTLA's Annie Rose Ramos live in downtown LA with the details. Annie Rose, good morning.
Hi, Frank. Good morning to you. Yeah, that new executive order from the president aimed at making it easier for cities and states across the country to remove homeless people from the streets. We want to get straight to that language of the order from the White House so you can see a little bit of it for yourself. It says it is targeted at removing, quote, vagrant individuals from our streets and redirects federal funds towards programs that tackle substance abuse. This order seeking to shift federal grant funding to states and cities that enforce prohibitions on urban camping.
Let me ask you a question. Could this actually be a good thing?
No.
I think it can be.
I don't think so.
I think it's teeter-tottering because it's going to affect a lot of people who are not. It's going to cause a lot of mistreatment. I do like the money going towards something to help people. I don't like the force of it, but I don't understand enough about it yet. But I kind of can see some negatives and positives. You know what I mean?
This is okay. Let me just tap into this now. Okay, I know I said that's a negative thing, right? Because from what it sounds like, they're going to arrest people, or they're saying something about some kind of chasing camps. I don't know, but either way, right? That's if you're going to take them off the street, then the best option, right, is to, like you said, you're putting money behind it, because we know that jail or these camps or whatever, that's a lot of money, right? We know that that's a lot of money behind the prison system and the jail system. Okay, they make money every time there's somebody that goes into the jails. Okay, so. I don't think that's productive at all. But what I would say, if you're going to take them off the street, why don't you put them into a situation to help house them, to help them, right? Put them in a situation to get them back on their feet so that they can have stable housing. That would make more sense, right? That would make sense. If you're going to do that, do it the right way. Put them in jail, so what happened? They just going to stay in jail? You get it? Because when they get out of jail, what's going to happen? They're going to get right back on the street. What you going to do? Are y'all going to set them up? You get what I'm saying? That doesn't make no sense. They going to still be homeless when they get out.
I don't want my fear for the mistreatment of them to miss what's really in this bill. 'Cause I haven't read the executive order, to be fair.
Yeah, but any mistreatment is not okay. That's inhumane. So that's not okay. How
do they? You know what I mean? I don't want mistreatment, but I haven't.
Of course not.
I didn't hear anything yet that said that people are going to be mistreated. You know what I mean? But let me hear it one more second.
Enforce prohibitions on drug use and adopt policies allowing people with serious mental illnesses or substance abuse disorders to be forced into treatment. The governor responding to Trump's new executive order, saying it is more focused on creating distracting headlines than producing a positive impact.
Okay, so
that's good. No, that's good if you're gonna make them like, hey, you got to get off these drugs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is basically you're forcing people to get their act together, get off of drugs. Okay, I do understand that is a good thing, but it's still by force. You're still forcing people to do something.
Exactly.
And then the thing is too is that but that could be a good thing, right? Because we don't want drugs on our streets anyway, right? We don't want people all messed up on drugs. That is killing people. So no, I do understand. Well, if you're going to force that, then we should be forcing not smoking cigarettes. We should be forcing not smoking drinking alcohol, right? Then enforce everything that's toxic to the human body. Let's be clear, right? Not just drugs. What about cigarettes? What about alcohol, right? Shouldn't that be a part of that as well? That everybody just is sober minded, right? It would be against the law to do anything that is going to cause you to be in a different state of mind. But yet, they put these things onto us, and now y'all the one that put the drugs on the streets and the alcohol in the stores and the cigarettes, right? Right. So now it's because it's coming a major problem, and people are on the streets or have these issues or getting high or whatever, right? Now y'all want to force them, but either way, y'all forced it upon us from the beginning. Everything was forced upon a human. Now you have free will. You don't have to do drugs or nothing like that. But do you get what I'm saying? It still is it's very backwards. Now, what I will say I don't agree with is the mental health problem. People with mental issues, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this.
People with mental issues, y'all, sorry about that. People with mental issues, that is not something that most of us can control. I have anxiety disorder. I can't control that. I can't, you get what I'm saying? Some people have schizophrenia. Some people have bipolar disorder, right? Some people have different things. How would you make someone suffer because they have a mental illness? Like, I just think that's really, that some of these things are just inhumane. They're not moralistic at all. They go against morals, you know what I'm saying? Because some things are beyond people's control. You know what I'm saying? That's like if somebody was born with Down syndrome, right? They can't control that. That is how they were born. You feel me? That's not something that they chose or that it happened. You know what I'm saying? They were born like that. You get what I'm saying? And quite often with people with mental illness, right? Yeah, I get it. Take your medication, stuff like that. So what are we doing? Are we saying for people who are not taking their medication, need to make sure they take it? But to just make someone have a consequence for something they cannot control. Yeah, we can control the things we put on our body, right? You can say, hey, I'm not going to drink or smoke or do drugs. You get what I'm saying? But you can't control the mental illness. How you control that? So I just feel like it doesn't make sense.
I know, but I think the issue is it's now crossed over. It's not a particular race of people who are affected by this anymore. Now it's affecting their own kind, and they have to do something about it. So that's what I believe is happening.
Oh, how convenient. Yeah, how convenient.
But, I mean,
how convenient. because they don't give a damn about our people. So
homelessness is an epidemic that needs to be dealt with. We do have a lot of people on the street. Just where I live at, a lady was walking her dog about 3 weeks ago, and they have these houses over here where they house people who have mental illness. And one of those people who lived in there at the dog park pushed her down, and she hit her head on a rock and died. She was like 59 years old.
God.
So, if we go to her family and tell her we're advocating for people who have mental illness issues to be able
That's
to
so
walk
sad.
freely.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so it's a two-sided coin that we need to just kind of turn it on the side. We find what works, and we have to have reasoning, and we have to have we got to have reasoning, and we have to have understanding that things cannot continue this way. Not saying that the methods that Donald Trump and them is coming up with, but we do need methods. This is the Nicole Aladrian Show. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome. Man, we got an exciting interview right here ahead of us. Why don't you go ahead and tell a little something about yourself?
Hello, my name is Shane G, a.k.a. Central Avenue Slim. I'm an aspiring producer / artist and content creator, and I'm originally from Hope, Arkansas, but I live in Little Rock, Arkansas.
What inspired your latest single?
What inspired me? My latest single, Texas Pimpin'. I was inspired by a Port Arthur native and artist by the name of Sean Pimp, who was signed to Rec Shop Records in the late 90s and early 2000s. He was also the classmate of late great rapper Pimp C.
So, who are your biggest musical influences?
My biggest musical influences are Tupac. I always would rank him number one in my top 10. And Pimp C, I loved his production and also the contributions that he made to Southern hip hop. It really inspired me of becoming a producer and artist. And I would also say Rappin' Forte of San Francisco. I've always loved his music, his tenacity, and everything he has also contributed to the game of hip hop.
So, what do you think your biggest challenge is as an artist?
My biggest challenge as an artist here from Arkansas has been networking and collaborating with fellow artists from this area. It seems to me that some either lack consistency or, lack of a better words, it's just that they treat their craft like a hobby. And instead of it being a hobby, it's a full-time passion for me. So I would really say that there's been one of my biggest challenges is trying to network and collab with different artists from my area.
You know, with so much going on nowadays, you have to be the engineer, you got to be the producer, you got to be the singer, you got to be the rapper, you got to be the vocalist, the manager, all these different things that you have to do. How do you stay focused, creative, and motivated?
I stay creative and motivated. I stay positive, and I creative by thinking that my music and my content is inspiring the next generation. I maybe inspiring the next Southern producer or actor after they watch my content, because I want to at least have some covert message of inspiration and hope, but also have comedy and also a lesson that you would learn.
What do you want people to feel when they hear your music?
I want people to hear my pain, my joy, but also my triumph through my ups and downs as an individual, as a person, and also as an artist, to say that if I can do it and put God first, you can also do it as well, whatever your dream or your passion is.
Got it. All right. So what's next for you in your music career? Any shout outs? And where can listeners find you on social media, places like that?
Well, I definitely appreciate it being a part of the show. This is a great opportunity. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I would like to say for me next, I'm every day I'm constantly dropping new content, new comedy skits, and also just different things that I'm doing. But I'm also producing, working with a couple of new artists, and Nicole is being one as a great friend. She's someone I'm loving to collaborate with and work with in the near future. But I would also like to give a shout out to my mother and my father, and give a shout out to God. Without him, I would not be nothing. But I would also give a shout out to Big Lurch, who's currently incarcerated. I'm screaming free Big Lurch till he comes home. And I also like to give a shout out to Rappin' Forte. He is one of my musical influences, being from the Bay Area. And my family also has also lived in the Bay Area. But people can find me on TikTok at Central Avenue Slim, all one word, Central Avenue Slim. Thank you.
Man, that was one amazing interview. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I solely appreciate it. Thank you for coming and gracing us with your presence. Everybody go ahead and check them out at the social medias, and we'll see you next time. Coca-Cola makes you happy.
Anybody want to make Nicole happy, just send me some Coca-Colas, okay? You can send them on a pigeon, a seagull, an eagle, you know.
Yeah, you ever
However you want to do it.
go to anybody, I think we talked about this. You ever go to anybody's house and they had Pepsi?
Man, I had to settle for Pepsi. I'll settle for a Pepsi. That's bubble all day. I ain't got a Coke, but I got a Pepsi. I'm like, all right.
Pepsi is like
when we went out this weekend, I'm like, y'all got Coke, we got Pepsi. I'm like, all right, fuck. I guess I was just, cause we like Pepsi. Pepsi's good, but I prefer Coke. You know, I'll say Pepsi's not bad. Yeah. We grew up on RC Cola, so I used to drink the hell out of that. That shit was sugar diabetes. My mom used to always buy me RC Cola, the blue cans back in the day when I was little.
Just the right amount of diabetes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was so delicious. It was so delicious. Okay, that's a new word I just made. It was so delicious. Let me write that down. That's gonna be a new word. It was delicious. You get it? Good, delicious. Tastes good, huh? Okay.
So
that's gonna be a new word. Delicious. I made it up. If you heard anybody say delicious, y'all, I'm suing.
Since we talking about taste, check this out.
My first time eating a girl out, and she told me, she said how it tastes, and I froze because I was like, it's a little sour. It's a little sour, and I don't know if that's the intended target. This is my first time doing this, so I don't know if it's supposed to taste like this. But let me know if it isn't, because you'll go to your primary care physician. My first.
Wait a minute, where the heck did you find that at?
Pepsi or Coke?
Oh, what the hell?
I'm telling you, that's what I was telling you. I found some just in that little short time period. I don't know where I found these. Check this out. Listen to this one. This is funny.
Listen, right? Once we fuck 3-4 times, then you can ask me for some money. And when you fuck 3-4 times, you know what I'm saying? We ain't never fuck. Don't ask me for no money, man.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know, because I don't know about that, because I've got money. I've had people give me money for years before they even touched my body, if I did give them my body.
But that 3 or 4 times,
I mean, whatever.
That 3 or 4 times thing, that's like a lock in. You locked in at that
But
point.
But what if you do it and that's still a catch-22, because what if you can be with that man one time and he just ghosts you and you never hear from him again, right? Or you give it to him multiple times and he still getting no money. So how is that? There's no guarantee. You know?
Well, he's talking. He's talking.
I guess that's his thing. Like he feel like, okay,
from his point of view.
I guess that's the thing. Is it just depends. So I don't know. That's a slippery slope. That's a slippery slope.
If someone gives you something so special that many times, shit, you throw them a bone. They need something.
Yeah, you got that right. You know what I mean? Fuck. I agree, but I ain't even if it's. Let me shut up, y'all.
We're not asking you. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't ask me, because I'm gonna give it to you real. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to you raw. Okay, raw meat. Ain't no season on it yet. Ain't been in the frying pan. I'm gonna give it to you raw. Okay.
My goodness gracious.
I ain't the one.
But I still think it was funny. I that was a funny. I don't know. I got hooked on some funny videos, real quick style. And I was
and this the first one, I'm like, okay, yeah, I would think for a man that could be a little traumatizing, because he don't know, if that's his first time going down on a female and it tastes sour, he probably don't know, like, because it's like, what do it supposed to taste like? And then that would kind of throw you off, because like, wait, is that, because you don't know how it's supposed to taste. Do coochie taste like this? Do coochie taste like that? So I don't know that, I don't know about that. I don't know.
People out there listening, it was just for fun. You know what I mean? Let's get back to this here. This young lady want to tell you a little something about the cost of living in America.
What do I see happening? People are moving out of the cities. People are scrambling for side hustles, second jobs. People I've heard talk about that they're considering that they may start taking up theft, because they don't know what else to do. People are starting to feel pushed into this corner and they don't know how to react. There's people that are talking about moving out of the country because the US is so unaffordable, and they're starting to look at other places like Mexico and other places in Central America and South America and other countries in Europe even. So if you're thinking, hey, this is really getting hard, are other people going through this? Yeah, a lot of people are really struggling right now. We've been living frugally for years, and even we've been seeing that there are things right now that we have a hard time getting around, you know, when it comes to buying things, because we need to get certain items and then the price is just so high. And of course, you know, with the tariffs, things are going to go up even more. But it's really concerning what's going on. That's why I'm such a proponent of trying to cut back, live below your means as much as possible, move in with family, don't have a brand new car, get rid of that, get something used, don't get into more credit card debt. If you need to find some type of side hustle, something that you can do on the side, even though nobody wants to work a second job, but just relying on your own one income right now is not necessarily reliable. So thinking outside of the box and what can you do?
Okay. That young lady is she's perfectly right. But one thing I didn't hear her mention, she talks for a very long time, and so we can't listen to it all. Her name is Grant Chatter, and I really appreciate her candor and what she's saying, and she's spot on.
Yes, yes. Thank you, doll. Thank you so much. I came across her on TikTok. Yeah, I mean, people are just sharing their stories, and it's because it's affecting all of us. It's affecting the whole human race who are not the elite or wealthy, right? People who have the money, they're not, that's cool. They don't have these type of problems, right? And okay, we get it. But what about all of us who do? What about the people who do? It's almost like we're invisible. Nobody wants to talk about it. So I love the fact that people are starting to speak up and they're frustrated. You have people you got grown man, Maurice, that's up here. They're on the street just having a freaking breakdown, just screaming and just like, I'm tired of working. They're crying. Because they're like, dang, I've been working all these years. How many of you guys can relate to that? You've been working. It's like, dang, life is more than just working. We're not just here to work and give our money away and then die. That's not living. That's why I said we're not living. We're only surviving, right? You know what I'm saying? So, we feeling that. We started feeling more. Absolutely. We feel it more and more every day. It's like, damn. So when we do have our little weekend off, or we can take a little vacation, y'all, make sure that you're doing something that's really fulfilling to your life. Do something, get new experience, meet new people, get a new hobby, whatever it is, right? Start a business or do something that, is going to make you happier or put you in a better financial position. Go back to school, right? That's what I'm doing. Like, go back to school, when with furthering your education and going for maybe a degree or a trade, you can, that will put you in a better financial situation because you can make more money.
Exactly.
So, make sure that if you're good at something, try to start a business, because a lot of times people are very successful in their businesses. Maybe you weren't. I started a business in digital marketing. I didn't really get any success from it, but you know what? I still learned a skill. I can always go back and try again,
Yeah,
so,
that's the balance.
just try, right? Yeah, we get it. If you need to pick up a second job or people working 2-3 jobs, we get it. It's exhausting. With one job, you're tired. I get it. But what she's saying is that, one income is really not enough anymore, especially if you're not making enough money. For those who may be making enough money and they're okay and they don't have, they're not dealing with that, save your money, okay? Because everybody's situation and finances are different. Their maybe family size is different, right? Everybody's not, this is not a copy and paste thing. This is very different. It looks different depending on the family or the individual. All right. What she's saying, if you got to move back in the family, there's no shame in that. There's nothing wrong. I always say, look, there's nothing wrong. I lived with my mom till I was 26 years old. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I lived with my mom till I was 24, 23. Well, because I was pregnant with my daughter. I moved out. But I lived with my mom till I was in my early 20s, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? The thing is, if you're living at home with family or friends or family, your parents, right? That's nothing wrong with that. But make sure that you're helping out. You're not just bumming off them, right? Make sure you're helping to contribute to the bills and things in that household. I think that's more honorable. I don't care who you living with, or make sure that you're helping you guys are all working together to take the load off of each other. And while you're doing that, stack your money to put you in a better situation, right? Another thing thing that she made a good point is, like I tell people all the time, Maurice, I say this all the time. If I get it, people don't want to be laughed at or talked about. People have talked about me for years because I've driven older cars, but y'all, it would significantly help me. By me driving older vehicles, I was able to save a hell of a lot of money. I was able to start an account for my daughter. You feel me? I was able to, you know what I'm saying? That's more important to me than worry about how my car look or if it's brand new or not. You feel me? And even now I have a 2015 and I'm happy. Like, to me, that's everything because, it's a major upgrade to all the older cars that I've had. But I say this to say that, yeah, maintenance comes with that, but I don't have a car note every month. Y'all get what I'm saying? That car note, usually car notes are expensive. You feel me? They be usually like, it depends on the car, the model, and the year. But them car notes, and then most of the time when you have a newer car, we already know you have to have full coverage insurance, right? So when you look at that, you spending what, $500 to $800 a month, something like that's a lot of money. That's money you could be saving. So when you buy used, you don't have a car note, right? You don't have that issue. Yeah, you might have more maintenance issues and costs. I do admit that, but you think about it, all the months you have that used car, that's months that you don't have to pay for that car note or that full coverage insurance. You just get you some liability insurance and you're good to go. You feel what I'm saying? So that's one thing. And she said, like, yeah, if you don't need a bunch of credit cards, right? I have one credit card, $500 limit. That's cool for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't need $1,000. I didn't get into debt. I pay off my cards. I don't try to I didn't have a credit card till very recently, okay, like within the last couple of years, which good thing I wanted to help my credit because I didn't have any kind of credit established. So that really helped me significantly. But if you don't go to a high balance. If you don't go to 10,000, if that's too high for you to handle, start off small. You feel me? Don't do too much that you can't handle. You know what I'm saying? So she made a lot of valuable points. I say the same things, don't I, Maurice? Like, drive old. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be in no old car. You know what? Hey, if you're trying to keep up with looks, nobody really cares, okay? What's going to happen is they see your car for the first time, they say, hey, nice car. They don't care. They're not sitting here glorifying it. You're not pulling up in a Lamborghini. I'm just saying, right? You know what I'm saying, Maurice? Like, people have nice cars. Like, you see his head that's nice, and they're not helping you pay that car note. So don't do things for other people. Do it because you can afford to live within your means. You feel me? Because a lot of people, they're living above their means because they're trying to impress other people, and those people don't care. Those people not trying to help you. They're not paying for them cars. So I would never try to impress other people. I'm going to live within my means and what I can afford to do.
You got to do you, and you gotta stand within your means. And she probably would have gotten to what Nicole had said earlier. I didn't listen to the whole thing. Upgrading yourself. If you're stuck in a circle, more jobs, more hours, none of these things are going to break the cycle of where you're at financially. You have to get a skill, and you have to get an education or something that can make you more money than you could ever make by adding more hours on or going to the next job that pays
just
$200.
the current job.
Yeah, you got to get educated, and you got to get a skill that is limited, not a skill that's right. Everybody can do, because this is why we struggle in the work world, because we get complacent and we just do the job, do the job. Everything else around us goes up. But while we're doing a job, we're staying in the same place. We're not elevating ourselves. So we have to be careful to not get stuck. And it's no one's fault, because some of us, you might have a lot of children. You may have situations where you don't have available time to do some of these things. You got to find it. Because you gotta make it. You gotta make it. Trust me. We gotta. Y'all. I gotta wear all the hats in my household. I was just saying how I just started school, and it's very challenging, right? Even though I work at night, it's like I'm finding myself having more things to do, and I'm like, dang, goodness, I'm sitting here trying to, take the little downtime I have at work and work on my skill set in the morning when I get off work, because I still got to sleep, right? I still got to find time to sleep. I still got to clean up the house. I still got to tend to my daughter when she's home. I got other things I have to do, but we doing our podcast shows. I'm still trying to work on new music and stuff like that. So it's times where I say, hey, I may be burnt out, I may be tired, but I know I'm doing something greater, right? And you have to you have to do it, right? You have to make the time. I don't care if it's just, even if you could squeeze in an extra hour a day to learn something, right? Or to go, but do something that's at your own pace. Like, I'm doing online school, it's at my own pace, right? So I control what I do. I control how much time I put into school, right?
So you have to find ways. It's a lot of ways to have more flexibility now with online school and being so big now, right? You don't have to go into a classroom setting no more if you don't want to. You can still do the traditional college or go to school. But for those who are working mothers or fathers, or, you just, there's research, there's other programs in your city. Look into those things. There are community colleges. You can go and get, grants and financial aid for some people who qualify. You feel me? Penn Foster is a school I'm going through, and they don't offer financial aid, but for me, it's affordable. It's a very affordable option for people. You can pay as low as $40 to $50 a month, for maybe $49-$50 a month. If you want to pay in full per semester, it's still, you're saving a lot of money. For my degree, I will only be spending about $5,200. Hopefully I'll make it to the end, because only God knows. I'm trying my best, but on average, I would have been spending about $7,000, but I'm actually saving because I'm paying in full per semester. If I was paying the smaller, portion, I would have to pay about $2,000 more. But either way, $7,000 for an AA degree is super affordable, as opposed to me being in student debt and I have to pay back all these loans. A lot of people are in debt, right? Find resources. Let me tell you another trick. Like, for people who may be like say you on like general assistance right now, right? Maybe you get welfare, or you get like GA. For people who don't have kids who get GA, those programs actually help you go to school and stuff, right? It was like when I was on GA when I was younger, I used that to help me. They paid $6,000 for me to go back to school, and I went to school for business. You feel me? And so, they will help. They will literally, they give you help, like they give you money to go to Goodwill, get you like nice little business clothes and stuff. They give you free money to get outfits and stuff from the Goodwill. They help you with resources. So people never feel too good. Like, don't let your pride get in the way. Like, if it's a stepping stone for you. It's like, okay, they giving you this little free money. Back then I was getting like $200 a month with some food stamps. I'm like, yeah, they want you to get off the assistance. So if they want to help you pay for school and stuff, take that opportunity. That's free money that you can go back to school with, right? They be offering all kind of good jobs and stuff like that. Take those resources, let them help you. You feel me? Don't feel like your pride is too big. You feel me? Like, let them help you. It's a lot of resources out here. They will help you with things. You feel me? Like, I sure did. They paid $6,000 for me to go to school, y'all, and I sure did. Okay, so
just like that.
Don't be too prideful, y'all. Okay, it's okay to accept help. If it's gonna help you get to a better situation in your life, we all need help. There's nothing wrong with that. Best believe I'm gonna take the help when I need it. I've never been that person to be like, I'm too good for help. No, if I need help, it's okay. God didn't put us here. We supposed to help each other. Okay, you gotta always think, I don't care in no capacity. Everybody had to help somebody else get where they at. Even big people, right, Maurice? I can't make music without a producer, y'all. Right? You can't do anything. A doctor needs to go to school. Like, you have to think of everything, right? We all need each other in the capacity to make the world go round, right? Everybody who's doing something, they have to have help there. They didn't do it by themselves. Remember that.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a part of the show that we have to use to say goodbye for the evening. Nicole,
it's such a sad time.
It was a pleasure indeed. And thank you all for joining. I hope the information you received today will help somebody.
Was useful. Yes.
Useful.
Please pass it to somebody, you guys. Please. You may have a friend or family member, even somebody a stranger may come across you that's telling you they need help, right? Please let them know about the resources. All right.
Exactly.
And remember to spread God's love and light, right? If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. We don't have to break each other down. Let's love each other, lift each other up. Okay.
Hey.
Know that a kind word and a smile can go a long way.
Damn. Real talk.
Bye, you guys.
If it's sour, just keep going. It'll go. It'll taste like Coke after a while. It's Nicole Aladrian Show. Thank you for coming through and listening. We'll be back to you guys next time. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Y'all go check out the other episodes, and we'll see you next time. Bye.